I truly believe that when you choose us to be your partner in whatever it is that we do for you all, really you're choosing Bright Horizons people to deliver those services. And it really is our culture, in addition to all the other service aspects of what we do, that really drives the success of our services in whatever it is we're doing, for your organization. So first, this idea that I've always had that we've aimed at Bright Horizons to be the world's biggest little company. The kind of company that has the heart and soul of a nonprofit and the muscular system of a for-profit. That never stops, thinking about the impact that we make, no matter how big we get, and that we're trying to find people who want to join our family that can act and lead with a special combination of professional drive and personal humility. That's how I've always tried to think about the sort of definition of what we're trying to look for when we look for people to join the Bright Horizons family. And I hope that rings true to you from the people that serve you in whatever service that we're driving for you. We've always tried to listen closely to those we serve and respond with a sense of urgency, not to sort of sit on things and to do this response in very, very little ways every day, and then every once in a while in big ways. And in very little ways, I mean the reality of our work, whether it's with young children, adult learners, whether it's with prospective college students, we're dealing with tens of thousands of unique individuals, diverse individuals. And so while we have protocols about the way we do things, we have to recognize and respect the individuality of those we serve. We can't always say yes to everything, but we try to be respectful of those needs in order to create the service experience and the care and educational experience that's right for the individuals that we're serving. We do this in big ways, too. Some of you are with organizations where we've responded in times of crisis. We've sent teams of teachers to places where there have been natural disasters on a moment's notice, and it's always incredible to me the passion of our team to want to go and make a difference for our partners in their times of need, whether that be a hurricane, whether that be a flood, whatever it may be. Providing emergency care in those situations is something we've done consistently over our 30 years, trying to listen and respond with a sense of urgency. Thirdly, I've always believed that if there's a parent working for one of your organizations and they're considering having their child in our child care center that may be on your campus, or if there's a parent of a college student in your organization considering college coach, or if there's an adult learner in your organization considering going back for her degree and they're engaging at Assist, that no matter how big we get, no matter how many places we operate in, this is all great from a size perspective, and we think there's some power in that, but the reality is that our reputation is built on our ability to ensure quality, one child, one family, one student, and one employer client at a time. The next other groups of parents and other groups of clients don't care as much about what we're doing in other places around the world. They're caring about what's happening that day in that moment, no matter how big we get. Fourth, we've always tried to celebrate and embrace the diversity in our community and commit to inclusion as a means to strengthening our organization, and that's something we think we've learned a lot from you all about over the years. Inclusion for us continues to be a journey. Dan and I co-chair our Inclusion Council within Bright Horizons, and it is a journey. Our journey, though, starts from the classroom with young children. So we've always believed that we have this awesome opportunity to provide inclusive environments for young children that models inclusion as they continue to grow and leave us, for success in school and life. And we think that as adults in our community, we should mirror that. We have this incredible opportunity to serve such a diverse constituency of our clients and our parents and our families that our organization needs to take that to heart and reflect that as well. It's always been a core value. It always will continue to be a core value. Fifth, we've always tried over our 30-year history to pay close attention to social, demographic, and workforce trends and evolve our services accordingly. There's a lot of broad trends that drive your work and drive our work in trying to find and engage people. Some of the trends that have recently been, on our minds as we've continued to evolve our services If you look at, people ask me all the time, oh, isn't it great that there's more babies being born in the country than there were last year, and that means there'll be more children needing early education? And yeah, I think that's all well and good, but the reality for us at Bright Horizons is there's a trend within the birth rate trend that's really critical. And that is, if you look at new births with moms over the age of 35, those are off the charts. And so many of those people are working for your organizations. And as that's happened, and I'm a 50-year-old parent of an 8-year-old, so I sort of lived that trend. Our youngest, my wife was 42 when our youngest was born. And so I'm living that trend. A few things happen as this trend plays out, particularly for professional working families where mom and dads are working. Obviously, it creates the dynamic where they both have young children and aging parents, as I do, the sandwich dynamic that we all have lived with and need to continue to think about. It's driven us to shape our backup care offering, but also it forces us to think about what's going on with respect to their job as a caregiver and the unique caregiving stresses that they're having. And it really amps up the retention case and the business case for some of the services that we deliver. Because think about it, when we did our conferences 30 years ago, most of the retention we were talking about were 25 through 30-year-olds having their children. And now, today, and those people are earlier on in their career. Now, your senior managers are having their first children. And the idea that you'd lose those people or some of your more significant contributors, the stakes are just so much higher as a result of that trend. And so we try to think about that and think about the services that we can offer in that way. Another trend, of course, that we've all been following closely is student loan debt and the issue that's causing our millennials as they continue to graduate and we try to employ them. And I really credit our Ed Assist college coach teams for thinking about that, taking that seriously, and recently launching our first couple of loan repay services for clients around the country. We think this is a really important issue. And if ever the legislation with respect to tax advantage on tuition reimbursement gets to include reimbursement for loan repay, we think it opens up an incredible opportunity for employers to make a difference in something for millennials that I think will really tug at their hearts. So that's and their purse and their wallets. So that's another trend. So paying close attention to the trends and evolving our services accordingly over time. We also like to think at Bright Horizons we're doing serious and important work, but we can never lose fun of the joy and fun in our work. If you ever go to a Bright Horizons conference, you will see me in, Sonny Bono outfits and whatever it may be over time. We like to really be sure that we're encouraging our team who's working really hard every day in what we're doing to never lose sight of the joy and fun in the work. And then second to lastly, never forget that our core value comes from people serving people. And when we make mistakes, we own them, we act transparently, and we learn from them. I'd like to think that we've been serving some of your organizations for almost 25 years. I'd like to think it's true that we've never made a mistake, but then again, I'd be kidding myself. Every organization, particularly a human service organization like ours, where it's people serving people, makes mistakes from now and then, and what we try to do is act transparently, own them, and then learn from them. And I hope that's been your experience with us over time, and if not, I'm sure you'll seek me out on a break and tell me about it. And then lastly, I've always thought that we have an opportunity not just to be your service provider, not just to be the people that are administering your tuition reimbursement or the people that are caring for young children on your work site. We have an opportunity to be a thought leader in all we do. We're deeply passionate about it. We want to bring you cutting-edge thinking, cutting-edge research. We have a really impressive, small but very impressive consulting team that in addition to doing customized work for organizations around culture, also produces really good and thoughtful research. if you look back at the body of work over the course of 25 years, we've done things around proving the business case for the reduction in absenteeism that backup care produces, or the connection between our services or the users of our services and areas like stress and productivity and even usage of healthcare and healthcare costs. So there's been a lot of great work done over the years, and I really encourage you to learn more at this conference about that.